So transport in Greater Manchester. The trains ran a lot better 4 years ago. The trains ran a lot better 5, 6, 7 years ago. Now, I'm not one of those politicians who blame Andy Burnham for everything, but he is the mayor of Greater Manchester. He cannot influence the train companies to run a better service. He cannot influence national government to help him run a better train service. He keeps promising better stations, stations with access for disabled people, because surprisingly, some of our stations in Greater Manchester, if you're in a wheelchair, you've got to crawl up the stairs because there's no access for wheelchairs. But again, it's not his fault. They were built like that 100 years ago. But he keeps talking about how he's going to improve the trains. He has meetings maybe every month, every couple of months with the train companies. And I was told this last year. The chief exec of the Pennine Railway drives from Leeds to Manchester for the meeting. And when he's asked, why do you drive? He went, the trains are awful over the Pennines. And he runs the train company. Again, I'm not blaming that man per se. All these issues are historic issues over decades. And what politicians like Andy Burnham doesn't do is he doesn't rock the boat. He should be standing on a podium in front of the national press going, the Trans-Pennine Railway are rubbish for these reasons. And this is the person who runs the trains, and start telling us the truth. Now, the train from Manchester and all over the northwest to London is the franchise now has gone to Avanti. It used to be Virgin Trains. And since Avanti took over, the service has absolutely collapsed. It's appalling. And I was talking to someone the other day about this, and what I didn't understand was Avanti didn't take over and were just incompetent. Avanti took over and wanted to implement cuts to save money. And the drivers and the staff of the train company, which all get trooped over, which means they get taken on board with the new provider, all decided, we don't like this, we're going to work to rule. We're not doing any overtime. That's why we have a poor train service now going to London, because the drivers won't work overtime, which is their right not to work overtime. But before that, they all wanted as much overtime as they could get to pick up their wages. But has Andy Burnham ever said that? Has Andy Burnham ever said the reason why we have a rubbish transport system from Manchester to London is because of the strikes, because of the drivers won't do overtime? And not blame him for that, but actually give us the information so we can make some decisions ourselves. But he doesn't do that. All he keeps doing is blaming government. If the government gave us more money, if the government gave us more money, if the government just gave us more money, and that's the mantra of every socialist that's ever come along. Their excuse is always, if we had enough money, these failing services would work. So we give them more money, they're still failing. So what do they want? You just didn't give us enough. If you can give us enough money, they'll work amazingly. And it's always about money, 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 money. Never about merit, never about competence, never about waste, never about providing a better service. Always about trying to buy themselves out of trouble. And eventually you run out of other people's money. And that's what's happening to the country. We're running out of taxpayers' money. So transport, has it improved? No, it's gone the opposite. It's actually got worse because we have a Labour mayor in charge of transport. It's as simple as that. If you like that video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell and comment. And if you like what I'm saying about running for Mayor of Greater Manchester, then stick around. Tell your family, tell your friends. The only way I'm going to have a chance of winning is a grassroots movement. So be part of that movement and hit that bell. Thanks.